There's been a debate for a while now about this notion of a dog whistle. So oftentimes somebody on the right will say something pretty questionable, and people on the left will say, "Hey man, that's basically a racist dog whistle or a sexist dog whistle." It's like, we know what you're really saying, but you won't just come out and say it plainly. You sort of dress it up and massage it in a way where you have plausible deniability to be like, I didn't even say that. You guys just like accusing everybody of being racist and sexist and homophobic and this and that and this. So this is the dance. This is the game that's played on a daily basis online and elsewhere. We've all seen it. We're all familiar with it. Okay, well, every now and then you get a chef's kiss, perfect, brilliant, ideal example of a dog whistle. Okay, so Tommy Tuberville is a U.S. senator from the great state of Alabama, and he also apparently is a tomato, as you can tell by his skin here. What's going on? I have no idea. Does he need blood pressure medication? Is he on his 12th scotch at the moment? What's going on here, bro? Get a little bit of aloe vera in your life? Just a little bit? It'll help you out quite a bit. All right. Well, he goes on Don Jr.'s show. Maybe him and Don... Y'all know how Don is. We all know how Don is. Don, it's in the morning, noon, and night. Now, let me tell you about Hunter Biden, man. Let me tell you about Hunter. He does his, like, a terrible impression of his own dad, where he's somehow 17 times more obnoxious than his dad. Okay. So he does an interview with Tommy Tuberville here, and he takes a vicious shot. Not only at teachers, but also at another group. I think you'll understand who he's referring to. Let's listen.
The COVID really brought it out about how bad our schools are and how bad our teachers are in the inner city. Most of them in the inner city, I don't know how they got degrees, to be honest with you. I don't know whether they can read and write.
But they're the experts that want to make sure that parents have no say. How do you decide what to do with your children?
They want to raise. They want less time to work, and less time in school. It's just we've ruined work ethic in this country.
Gee, I wonder what he's trying to say. I wonder who he's talking about here. One more time.
COVID really brought it out about how bad our schools are and how bad our teachers are in the inner city. Most of them in the inner city, I don't know how they got degrees, to be honest with you. I don't know whether they can read and write.
Teachers in the inner city. The inner city. Why, whatever do you mean, Senator Tommy Tuberville? I don't even need to say it. You all know exactly what he's saying. They can't even read. They can't even write. I don't know how they got degrees. And they're lazy. You know how they are, right? Really, really lazy. Really entitled. Really entitled. Now, you know who's entitled, Tommy Tuberville? All those Wall Street bankers that you love bailing out. All the top 1% economic royalist goons who you give tax cuts to on a yearly basis. They're entitled. You know who else is entitled? Raytheon, Boeing, KBR, Honeywell, all the so-called defense contractors who you love to let loot the treasury on a regular basis. They're entitled. They're entitled.
Most of them in the inner city, I don't know how they got degrees, to be honest with you. I don't know whether they can read and write.
But they're the experts that want to make sure that parents have no say. How do you decide what to do with your children?
They want to raise. They want less time to work, and less time in school. It's just we've ruined work ethic in this country.
Could you imagine, of all the things to get mad at, of all the things to rail against, he's really, really angry that teachers want to raise. He's really angry about that fact. Because, teachers, they're notorious for, being on their high horse, for making ungodly amounts of money. Some of the greediest people in society. I'll never be able to wrap my mind around it, man. I'll never be able to wrap my mind around it. If anything, teachers are some of the most undervalued people in society, right? These are the people who look after the next generation, help raise and educate the next generation, help create decent citizens. But you know what he really thinks of these teachers. The inner city teachers. They're lazy, they're entitled, they want to raise, they can't read or write themselves. There you go. All right. Is this your boy? Come get your boy, conservatives. Come get your boy. He's taking on big teacher. He's taking on the teacher deep state, the corrupt teachers who have ruined our government and ruined our country so thoroughly. You can't. I mean, it's beyond parody. It's beyond parody. Everybody knows what he means. He's barely masking it. This is the textbook example of a dog whistle. He's saying black teachers are lazy. This is what he means. This is what he means. And if you act like this isn't the case, you're an idiot. You're one of the dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. If that's the case, if you don't think this is what he's actually saying black teachers are dumb, they're entitled, they're lazy, and basically they deserve less. They don't deserve a raise. You know, they're doing a bad job. I would definitely take issue and argue, if anything, private schools are the problem. Particularly the Christian schools are the problem. They teach a lot of misinformation. By the way, those teachers are super underpaid. Public school teachers are too, but the private school teachers are even more underpaid. But anyway, I digress. I almost forgot this fact. I'm happy this popped into my mind at the end of the segment here. But Tommy Tuberville is the guy who, I want to say about 2 weeks ago, made a comment that blew up. And the comment was, I'm paraphrasing here, but when I think of white nationalists, I think of just Trump supporters. I don't think of Nazis. I think, Trump supporters are white nationalists. White nationalists are Trump supporters. And he wasn't saying that in a way as if it's like condemning, like, hey, this is bad, we should change this. No, he was saying it in a way to be like, what do you mean? That's, white nationalists are good American citizens who are Trump supporters, so there's nothing wrong with that. Do you think he meant anything different by this inner city comment? Inner city teacher? No. You know what he means. You know what he means. And he's not hiding it. The dog whistle is becoming more and more like a foghorn. Not a whistle anymore. It's not... Okay, there's dog whistle, there's regular whistle, and there's foghorn. This is in the whistle category. But he's getting closer. That white nationalist comment, that was the foghorn. And we're seeing a lot more of that these days. And I expect it to happen even more often, to be honest. All right, guys. That's the show, y'all. I love you very much. Thank you, as always, for listening to me babble. I truly appreciate it. You guys know the drill. I don't even think I need to do these shameless plugs, but nonetheless, I will do these shameless plugs. Click like, click subscribe. The most important part is the subscribe part. Click that bell icon so you get a notification every single time a video drops. I deeply appreciate that. It helps subvert the algorithm and makes it so that you guys can get my content more directly without relying on YouTube so much because, YouTube's not the fairest to a lot of different political channels, including this one right here. So definitely do that. Remember, you can always listen to the full show audio podcast style on Spotify. If you'd like to do that, go on over to Spotify and listen over there. And that's all I got for you, man. Much love to everybody who supports this show on Patreon. Much love to everybody who supports Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. By the way, we're going to have a great conversation. We're talking to FD Signifier this week. Really looking forward to that. And yeah, just, leave a tip on YouTube if you like. $2, $5, whatever it is, if you can afford it. I've never had a conversation with an advertiser, never want to, never will. We build it small dollar donations and up, and that's because of you guys that we can do that. So I appreciate any help that any of you can give. You can tip on YouTube, support Patreon, support Crystal Kyle and Friends through Substack. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I love all of you. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Peace. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.